Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you to the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. We are live here coming from Palmyra Bowling Center in beautiful Palmyra, Pennsylvania. We have the top 5 in the scratch and handicap divisions. We will have player introductions momentarily. Today, by the way, we were bowling on Gateway Arch. Played a little more difficult than one would normally have thought. Joining me, once he does announcements, will be Tournament Director Matt. Tournament Director Skip will be here in a little while as well. We're going to be using the same setup we did last week. We will have the scoreboard up from time to time. Here's the scoreboard. Got a new camera working this week. So hopefully next week we will actually be able to point 2 cameras at the scoreboard by the monitors, so it'll be easy to tell. I also included this little thing this week. We might go to that a couple times. The scoreboard above the bowlers. So you'll have to let me know what you think of each of the camera angles. As always, our YouTube chat is up and operational. Feel free to message me. Let me know what you see. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like, besides me. And we'll take it from there. Please keep it adult-like. No foul language, or you will be kicked out immediately. All right, Matt is getting them lined up. And we will have player introductions very shortly. And then the opening match, we'll take a couple practice shots. I'll set up the scoreboard, and we will be ready to go. I can tell you that the top seed is Ryan Taylor at plus 260. The number 2 seed is the Prodigy, Danny Althouse at plus 227. Gene Blair is your 3rd seed at plus 205. Colby Bennett is your 4th seed at plus 181. He shot 300 in his final game of match play to make it. And Jason Waltman is your 5th seed in the scratch at plus 139. Quickly in the handicap division, Mary Beth Baker is your top seed at plus 166. Brenton Sherman at plus 163. Toby Zombro at plus 126. Eliza Shirk at 116. And rounding out the top 5, Tom Burns at 127. All right, on to Matt we go for player introductions.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time to introduce our finalists for PJBT Tournament number 2 of the season from Palmyra Bowling Center here at Palmyra, PA. Sponsored today by Pureit Pro Shop and Training Center. We have a regular step ladder format for the finals today. Time to introduce our scratch finalists. Our 5th seed today from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, Jason Waltman.
From Phoenixville, your 5th seed, Jason Waltman.
He'll be taking on in the first match, 4th seed from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Colby Bennett.
Colby Bennett, Lebanon, Pennsylvania, your 4 seed.
The winner of that first match will take on our 3rd seed from Waldorf, Maryland, Gene Blair.
Waldorf, Maryland, Gene Blair, your 3rd seed.
The winner of that second match will advance to the semifinal match to take on our 2nd seed from Wibblesdorf, Pennsylvania, Dan Althouse.
Dan Althouse, your number 2 seed.
And the winner of that match will advance to take on our tournament leader with a total of plus 260 for 8 games today from Hamilton, New Jersey, Ryan Taylor.
Ryan Taylor, Hamilton, New Jersey, your top seed.
For our scratch finalists. Okay, now it is time to introduce the handicap side for today's tournament. Finish our 5th seed From Voorhees, New Jersey, Tom Burns Jr.
Tom Burns Jr., your 5th seed in the handicap division
In
from
the first
Voorhees,
match,
New
Tom
Jersey.
will be taking on our 4th seed from Fredericksburg, PA, Eliza Shirk.
Eliza Shirk, your number 4 seed, Fredericksburg.
There you go. Okay, winner of our first match will advance to the second game to take on our 3rd seed from Lebanon, PA, Toby Zombro.
Toby Zombro, Lebanon, Pennsylvania, your number 3 seed.
The winner of that second match will advance to our semifinal to take on our 2nd seed from also Lebanon, PA, Brenton Sherman.
Brenton Sherman, also from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, your number 2 seed.
The semifinal match will advance to our title match to take on our tournament leader at plus 166 for 8 games from York, PA, Mary Beth Baker.
Mary Beth Baker, your top seed from York. I'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
For today's PJBT.
Matt, I need all the parents. Matt, tell them to come back and see me. Bowlers 18 and older or parents.
Okay, bowlers 18 and older or parents. Go back there.
Mary Beth make it last week?
She made it to the
Did she make it last
yes.
week? What do you need me to say? Signature? Yes.
Yes.
Child's name, your signature.
Oh, what a son in here.
Do me a favor. Type the names of the bowlers in here.
If you would not have 5 teams and there's only 4, that would also help.
There's only 4 games.
Do you have the sound on?
I don't know. How do you spell his last name?
B-E-N-N-E-T-T. 2 N's and 2 T's.
Bennett. I got all the scratch. Who don't have Okay, so looks like we are just about ready to go for match number 1.
Okay, bowling fans, it's time to begin game 1 of our step-ladder finals for the Palmyra Bowling Center PJBT. So our first match on the scratch side, we have number 4 seed, Colby Bennett, taking on number 5 seed, Jason Waltman. Colby has elected to have Jason start the match on lane 27. For the handicap side, we have number 4 seed, Eliza Shirk, taking on number 5 seed, Tom Burns Jr. Eliza has elected to have Tom start the match on lane 29, and Eliza gets the handicap difference of 21. Bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our first game finalist.
Okay. And we are off. So right now I'm going to be doing commentating duties and scoreboard. So tournament director Matthew gets over here. Nice strike there from Jason. Tom Burns on the handicap side. Solid 10 on his first shot. Colby coming up under it. Left off.
Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me? I can't hear you.
Now you should be able to hear me.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. Game 1 of today's finals. See a handful of strikes to begin. Liza comes up a little bit light, leaving the 2-5 on lane 29. Now Jason Waltman looking to match Colby Bennett. And he comes up a little bit light, leaving a 4-pin. Colby certainly coming off a high here. The last game of match play before we went on the air, bowling a perfect 300 game. Taking home at the moment an additional $49 scholarship bonus. Was our first perfect game of the season there, PA.
Yes, it was.
Eliza picks up her spare on lane 29, and Jason does the same on the scratch side. Pretty even matches through 2 frames. Burns goes light there, leaving the washout, the 1-2, 4-10. And he converts the washout. Good shot there early in the match. Now Waltman. And he mixes it. And puts 40 up on the board. Great shot by Burns there. First strike of the match in the 3rd frame. Colby Bennett looking to make it 3 in a row, and he does.
He's in fuego right now.
He is. He is on fire. Liza goes a little bit light, missing the head pin to the right, leaving the 1-2-4-8 combination. Good shot there by Colby Bennett, leaving the solid 7 pin. And Eliza, unfortunately, was not able to convert her spare. So she has 43 in the 3rd. Back on the scratch side, Colby converts his spare. And now Eliza coming off the open frame. Look to pull that shot a little bit. Goes left to the head pin, leaving the 3-5-6 combination. She'll look to convert. And she does. Nice shot there. Now, on lane 28, Jason Waltman looking for a strike and a double. And he gets it. Want to point out to our bowling fans today was a recreational pattern tournament. We bowled today on the Gateway Arch. The Kegel Gateway Arch pattern was the pattern today. Scores were a little bit higher certainly than last week, PA, but not as high as I expected.
No, it's still tend to play difficult. It was fairly tight early. They've opened up now.
But once again, we did have some scores that were very good. Our leaders were good, but I will point out that the cuts were like in scratch were just below the even line. They were in the minus 18 after 5 games. So, okay, on the scratch side we have the strikes train moving as Colby strikes to put 99 in the 4th up. But he trails at the moment by a pin. Meanwhile, handicap side, Tom Burns with a spare. Trails by 8 with the handicap. His ball comes up high. He trips 6, leaving the 10 pin. He'll try to convert. Another strike for Colby Bennett. The strikes are flowing on the scratch side. Burns. At this point, starting the 9th frame on the scratch side. Waltman can shut out Colby Bennett if he continues to strike. But one miss and the door is open. 9th frame. Jason goes light, leaving the 4, the 7, and the 8. An interesting count there, PA.
Yes.
That now opens the door for Colby Bennett. He cannot shut Colby out. Meanwhile, Elijah Shirk leaves the 6-pin and converts her spare. And right now, we are dead even. We have a tie at 110 on the handicap side through 7 frames. Liza breaks up high, leaving the 3-6-10. She'll try to convert. Now back on the scratch side, 9th frame. Waltman can now only max out at 257. Colby can set his own destiny here, as if he strikes out, shoots 58. 9th frame. And a big shot there for him in the 9th frame. Now he looks to get 3 in the 10th to shut out Jason Waltman. Liza Shirk converts the spare. Sounds to me like she has a fan club, PA.
Yes, she does.
First shot in the 10th for Colby. And he leaves the 9-pin. Great shot, came in just a tad high. He leaves the 9-pin, so he cannot shut out Jason Waltman. There's a good strike for Tom Burns. Bennett converts the spare. He now has the fill ball in the 10th to make it 238. Waltman now essentially needing a mark in the 10th to win. On the handicap side, Tom Burns with a strike, his first double of the match. And Bennett finishes out strong with a 238. Nice game for Colby. We'll see if it's enough.
Well, look who showed up, Matt.
Yes. Okay, Eliza goes light, leaving the 2-4-10. First split of the match. Waltman, first shot of the 10th, and he strikes. And that should lock it up for Jason Waltman. He got that one a little bit wide, but it did grab and come back, and he will advance. Okay, Eliza not able to convert her spare. She has 131 in the 9th. She can max out at 161, 183 with her handicap.
That's a really good match on the scratch side.
It was. Waltman leaving the 10. He'll finish up here probably with 247. And he does. He'll take home the victory. 247 to 238. We have Jason Waltman over Colby Bennett. Good day for Colby Bennett, earning a $35 scholarship and at the moment $49 additional.
It's a pin in the gutter. All right, so Matt's going to go grab that pin. That's. Oh, hold on, Matt. Matt. All right, so while we got a moment, let me remind you guys that we are on our new live stream. We are using Wirecast to see we have multiple camera angles to choose from. Let me know how everything is going if you would. Send us a message. The chat room is always up and operational. let's flip over to the scoreboard quick. Hopefully next week we will have a third camera up and operational, so we'll be able to point those cameras up at the scoreboards themselves. We also have this view this week. All right, so off we go into the 10th. And a 6 count for Tom. That will be more than enough for him to move on to the second match. So he will beat Eliza Shirk. Tom gets 2 on his fill, so he shoots 182 to Eliza's 172. All right, match 1 is done. We will wait for tournament director Matt to give out awards for the 5th place. Putting on the headset now. His plane must have been a little late from whatever golf course he was on.
I had a little bit of snow today, so I had a detour.
How did you do today on the course, Skip?
Ooh, pretty good. All right, I need a little bit of slack there on my cable.
Did Junior Pop win?
I played my father.
Oh, you played your father.
Yes.
Did you beat your father?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll be playing for a championship in 2 weeks.
Ah.
Not something I'm, not accustomed to, playing for championships, but beautiful day outside.
I wouldn't know.
I guess not.
All right, so once again, the final scores. On the scratch side, we had Jason Waltman defeating Colby Bennett, 247 to 238. On the handicap side, Tommy Burns, 182. Eliza Shirk, 172.
Okay, bowling fans, time to give out our awards for the results of game number 1. Finishing in 5th place in the scratch division, getting a $35 scholarship, certificate and award. He also bowled our first perfect 300 game of the season. At the moment, taking home another $49 scholarship for that. Goes to Colby Bennett. What a guy.
What a guy.
And our 5th place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $30 scholarship, certificate and award from Fredericksburg, PA, goes to Eliza Shirk. Okay, on to our second match.
All right, so we're getting set up for our second match.
Oh, wrong block.
Where are we next week, Skip? Why don't you talk about actually the whole weekend?
I have no idea. We are in Allentown next weekend.
Yes.
For the 8K Marathon at Jordan Lanes. Saturday is the Parker Bowen Scholarship Tournament that hopefully everybody will come home, get a good night's sleep, and come join us Sunday in Allentown.
That was straight to the point. That was straight to the point.
I know. That's how I roll.
That is how you roll. Because you're very helpful,
I'm not going there today.
but you are helpful.
I didn't even, well, you know what? I did say that little phrase I told you last night one time today. Plenty of reasons to come to Allentown next weekend. Allentown Fair is going on.
Yep. Fats and Moyer will be in the Allentown area.
That's right. Live. Coming to you live on YouTube.
I would say I finished 6 and 7.
Match number 2, we have the 3-seed Gene Blair going up against Jason Waltman. 3-seed in handicap Toby Zombro, who will be receiving 68 pins, going up against Tom Burns Jr., our winner from the last match. Both bowlers finishing up their practice frames, and then we will get into match number 2.
Don't lie, you're a little bit excited inside. No. School tomorrow, and I like
He's going to start first.
Okay, bowling fans, time for game 2 of the step ladder finals. In the scratch side, we have number 3 seed Gene Blair from Waldorf, Maryland, taking on number 5 seed Jason Waltman from Phoenixville, PA. Gene has elected to start the match on lane 27. On the handicap side, we have number 3 seed Toby Zombro taking on number 5 seed Tom Burns Jr. Toby gets the handicap of 68 pins. And Toby has elected to start the match on lane 29. Bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our game 2 finalists.
At least one here, get good count. Tom Burns now up. And Tommy missing his 6-pin. You're that short, skinny thing that follows you around every tournament today.
Yes. Yes.
I was speaking with him earlier, and he said the pattern played a little hard today.
It did. It's a lot. It looks easier now than it certainly was at any other time today.
I wasn't going to say your son. I would never put that on you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Everything okay?
Yeah, we went down for a little bit.
I just screwed up the live scoring. Just got to get rid of that too. While we were having our difficulties, Gene Blair started off with a 3-bagger. Jason gets up, gets his first strike of the match in the 3rd frame. Toby now. Toby missed his spare the last frame. Makes his 9-pin here. Toby with his handicap. Well, he gets 68 pins, so we'll just go scratch for now. Toby does have the lead scratch. He's up 8 pins. Jason now looking to double here because if he doesn't, he's in trouble.
And a big shot there for Tom Burns.
10-pin for Jason. Much better shot than the 8-10 that he had there in the last frame on 27.
Barely converted that, but he did. Burns got his ball right in the middle of the oil there. push down the lane, leaving the 2-4-5.
Another strike for Gene Blair. That's 4 in a row. Keeps tacking on the lead. That is now a 42-pin lead for Gene after the 4th frame. Tom Burns makes his spare. Toby coming up on lane 30 for his 4th. Five in a row for Gene.
Toby crosses over to the right-hander's side, leaving the 10-pin. Toby converts his spare. Ooh.
6 count for Jason. Looks a little lost out there, PA. Looks like the pattern finally got to him.
Yes.
It certainly changed from the last game.
Yes. Question from our live stream. The 2 competitors in the first match were Jason Waltman. He defeated Colby Bennett.
Toby comes up, crosses over once again. This time he just leaves the 8-pin. Looking to keep the 9 spare train going. This would be the 4th frame in a row with a 9 spare for Toby.
Jason comes a little high again, leaves the 4-pin.
And Toby converts his spare. Tom comes up a little bit light, leaving the 2-pin. Tom looking to string some strikes together to get back in the match, as Toby at the moment has a pretty good lead.
6 in a row for Gene Blair. Colby Bennett earlier bowled our first 300 game of the season. He is currently in line for the $49 300 pot. Gene looking to match that, as Tom Burns makes his 8-pin.
Gene is the first of our 3 bowlers in scratch that you'll see today on the finals that really were near the top of the leaderboard all day, kind of trading around the spots. Ryan Taylor our tournament leader, did have a good lead all day, but there's been a close battle for second between Blair and Allhouse and Waltman and even Bennett once he shot his 300. So close scores all day.
Jason, Tom just left 2 straight 2-4-5s on lane 29. Yeah, his ball's really starting to push down.
Yes.
There's a good shot for Jason Waltman.
Yeah, if Tom doesn't make an adjustment there on that left lane, he's going to be in trouble. He's throwing the ball all right on 30, but 29 is just really pushing hard on him.
Yeah, if Toby's going to keep going 9 spare, he's going to be tough to beat if Tommy can't start stringing strikes with Toby's 68 pins of handicap. And just as I say that,
This is a makeable spare for the young man, as Jason Waltman gets a double.
Nice trip out of the 10 there by Waltman.
Toby looking to get 1. He does.
And he does. That'll give him 91 in the 6th. Oh, breaking up high. Blair ends the streak at 7, leaving the 4-pin.
Toby now with his 7th frame. Makes up for the split with a strike. Spare there for Gene. He is on pace for 279. Jason, though, if he strikes out, only shoots 203, so he certainly has an uphill battle.
Good shot there for Tom.
And to answer another question on our message board, no, this is not a house shot. PJBT Tour will not be having any house shots this year. Today's pattern was Gateway Arch.
Kegel recreational pattern.
Yeah, let's point out to our viewers, though, that really the recreational pattern tournaments are really what's going to be considered our house shot tournaments, because these patterns typically aren't much different than a house shot. Really, they're classified almost like a modified house shot. So, and we saw that today. I mean, we did see some good scores. We had a 300. So,
it certainly did not play like a house shot early today. I was walking through during game one, and I saw a lot of puzzled looks on some of the bowlers today.
well, I did hear a lot of people talking about how they like the patterns doing it this way, you know, so that the scores don't go too highly outrageous. But it does. It makes bowlers think, and the big thing is they don't know what pattern they're bowling on until they come in. So truly makes them bring their equipment and, you know, use practice to determine where the shot's going to be. So Jason Waltman finishing out. He will only be able to max out at 170. Gene Blair will be advancing to the next round.
Good spare there for Toby. Tom Burns up in the 9th and 10th now. Leaves the 6 pin. Tom could not shut out Toby, even if he did strike out. But a spare here in good count will force Toby to get up and at least mark in the 10th frame. And you can forget about that.
Yes, Toby with that open will be moving on. Gene Blair goes off the sheet for 279.
Gene Blair defeats Jason Waltman, 279-168.
Toby. Finish. Finish. Go. Disappointing open for Tommy Burns there to finish off his day. He'll take home the 4th place scholarship prize today. All right, Toby with a mark in the 10th. So on the scratch side, we have Gene Blair defeating Jason Waltman, 279-168. And on the handicap side, we have Toby Zombro 154 scratch, 222 with his handicap, defeating Tommy Burns with his 169. So that takes care of match number 2.
What is it with the NFL preseason and torn ACLs?
Is there another one?
Another one today. Cameron Meredith tore his ACL. Now the Bears go from having half a wide receiver to no wide receivers. All right, on the mat.
Okay, PJBT bowlers and parents, I have the results of game number 2 of our step ladder finals. Finishing in 4th in the scratch division, getting a $50 scholarship certificate and award goes to Jason Waltman.
Jason Waltman, 4th place finish today.
And also in the handicap division today, finishing in 4th, getting a $40 scholarship certificate and award goes to Tom Burns Jr.
4th place finish today for Tom Burns Jr.
Okay, bowling fans, on to our semifinal matches. Okay, 2 balls on each lane, okay? You can take 2 on 23 and 4 if you want, okay?
2 balls on each lane. Okay, you're already there. Nice bowling, Tom.
All right, so our semifinalists are taking their practice shots.
In this third handicap match here, Brenton Sherman, the number 2 seed, will be receiving 40 pins against Toby. Toby and Gene will be starting the match. Toby against Brenton, and then Gene Blair bowling Daniel Olhouse, the number 2 seed. Where have I heard that name before, Daniel Olhouse?
I don't know. I'll let you know depending upon how he bowls.
Okay.
Okay, bowling fans, time to introduce our semifinalists for today's PJBT. Starting with, on the scratch side, number 2 seed, Dan Allhouse from Rublesdorf, PA, taking on number 3 seed, Gene Blair from Waldorf, Maryland. I want to make sure I got the right Maryland. Okay? Dan has elected to have Gene start the match on 27. On the handicap side, we have the cousins bowling each other. Second seed, Brenton Sherman, taking on third seed, Toby Zombro. Brenton is getting 40 pins handicap, 4-0. And Brenton has elected to have Toby start the match on lane 29. Bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our semifinalists.
Okay, and off we go into the semifinals. Looks like Gene Blair will be up first on the scratch side and Toby Zombro on the handicap side. All right, Gene opens up. Comes up a little light, leaves himself to 2-8. Toby crosses over and gets a strike.
I just kicked the camera. We'll see how that works out.
Uh-oh.
Go to the scoreboard really, really quick. All right, here we go. Gene Blair starts off 8 spare. Danny Oldhouse gets the first strike. Toby in the first frame strikes. And a 1 spare for Brenton in the first. All matches, all even. Matt, move the mic away from your mouth a little bit. That's just really, really annoying listening to you breathe into it.
Really? Is it that close?
Yes, it was. Okay, Brenton missed his spare in the second frame. Toby now leaves the 7-8, looking to convert. Danny made his 10 pin in the second. That scratch match is tied up at 30 apiece. And over on the handicap side, Toby has a 2-pin lead scratch, but is trailing with the handicap. Brenton is receiving 40 pins this game. Gene with a strike for his third frame. And Toby comes up a little high, leaves the 6-10.
strike there from the prodigy. Pretty even match early. Meanwhile, Toby misses his spare, so he has 36 in the third. Brenton will maintain an early lead. Daniel looking to put pressure on Gene, fourth frame. And he does. Good shot there. What ball is that, PA?
That would be the
Forza
Motive
Redline.
Forza Redline.
I hope all our bowling fans know what you just said, because to me that's like gibberish. I don't know what that means, but it looks like a good ball.
It is. It's, in a way, a little angular for a symmetrical bowling ball. Kind of surprised that was symmetrical here. I always thought it was asymmetrical, and found out yesterday, no, it's symmetrical.
There's a good strike for Brenton Sherman on lane 29.
You only found out yesterday?
I only found out yesterday.
What color was the rock that you've been living under?
Orange.
Oh, wow. That's fine.
It looks like a bowl of sunshine going down the lane, I have to admit that. All right, Toby comes up a little bit high, leaves a 2-pin. That match is still scratch-wise, it's about even. So Brenton maintains the lead by about 40 pins. Oh, and what a shot there for Gene Blair. If we only had instant replay on that one. Went a little bit light, could have easily left the 2, the 8, and the 10, and he tripped it all with the head pin taking out the 2-pin. Giving him 4 in a row, keeping the strike train alive. Daniel comes up high, leaving the 3-6. And Toby crosses over for his second strike of the match.
Toby's starting to dig in there a little bit. He's only 19 pins down with the handicap. Brett now up on lane 30. Leaves the 1-3-6. And Danny for his spare try converts on 28 for the 5th frame.
Brenton does a nice job of converting his spare. Back-to-back marks, a strike and a spare for him.
Pin for Danny.
And Brenton accidentally drops that one in the gutter. So we'll see if he can convert his spare. Daniel converts his spare. Still on pace, he can shoot 247. Gene Blair still on a 290 pace. Enters the 6th frame with 4 in a row. And he leaves a solid 10. So with a spare conversion, Gene will have a 22-pin lead. Toby crosses over, leaving the 4-7. Spare made for Gene Blair, and I think he would have picked up the 7-10 if it was there.
Saw a few of them today.
Spare there for Toby Zombro, keeping the board clean through the last 3 frames.
Gene now gets a strike.
Yep. Extends his lead to 32 pins. Waiting in the wings, we have our tournament leader, Ryan Taylor from Hamilton, New Jersey for the scratch side, and from York, PA, Mary Beth Baker, looking to take on the winners of these matches.
Yep.
And that was a strike.
Yes, it was.
Strike for Daniel.
Both bowlers in that match now with a lucky break.
Yeah, late 4 tripping the 9. Just fell in time that the machine did not catch it, and it was legally a strike. Brenton comes up a little bit light, leaving the 1-2-4. Brenton still maintaining a small lead on Toby Zombro. How are we doing on viewership down there?
Oh, we were at a peak of about 30. We're in the high 20s now.
Okay. And a trip 10 pin for Dan Hallhouse, putting a double up on the board. Bowling fans, tell your friends to get on youtube.com, the PJBT Bowling Series page, each and every week so you can see the live streaming finals of all of our PJBT events during the season. This event only number 2 of our over 40 tournament season.
Three count there for Brenton. He'll be looking to make his spare. Toby is 13 pins behind with the handicap, with a frame in hand. Gene leaves the 2-4-5. That is now a 2-pin match.
Yes, it is. 2 pins separate. Blair maxes out 249. Daniel will max out at 247.
Total of 8 there for Brenton. Gives him 131 through 8 with his handicap. Toby has 103 coming up to his 8th frame.
Oh, and he throws a great shot.
Great shot there for Toby. Gene gets a strike.
Now it'll be interesting here. Daniel did not get the choice. Gene elected to have Daniel finish the match first. So Daniel can...
Other way around.
No, Daniel had the selection.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Rather, Daniel had the selection. So Daniel was able to choose to finish first here. So he could strike out and put all the pressure on Gene in the 10th frame. Let's see how it plays out.
Big shot there for Danny.
I was actually a little surprised. I thought him warming up that he would have chosen to finish on 28, not 27. I thought 28 was his better lane in his warm-ups.
But I have to admit, as a bowler myself, back in the day when I bowled tournaments, I always liked, my opinion was that I always liked my opponent to finish. I wanted to finish first. I wanted to put the pressure on my opponent. And in this case, that's what he has the opportunity to do. He can get a triple here, max out at 247, and force Gene to double. And get 9. Looks wide. And he leaves the 210. At probably the worst time of the match in the 10th frame. Meanwhile, on the handicap side, Toby Zombro goes 8 miss. He's at 139 in the 9th. Brenton Sherman leaving the 510. If he gets 1, he will have a 1-pin lead going into the 10th frame. And a great shot by Dan Allhouse.
Huge spare there for Danny. He had to have that one.
Big spare there, so now he can max out at 225 and still give himself a chance to win the match.
With that spare there, Danny is going to force Gene to mark in the 10th and get good count. Over here on the handicap side, we have a tie ball game going into the 10th.
Yes, we do. 139 all.
Strike for Danny gives him 225. Gene needs a mark and count.
Mm, 10 pin. So he'll need to convert this to move on.
He'll need to convert this and get 7.
Good spare there by Brenton.
So essentially, whatever Brenton does here, Toby will need to match.
And a good spare there by Gene. Okay, 7 is a winner.
Good day today for the Prodigy.
Absolutely.
Solid day out there. Brenton gets 9. He will shoot 158 with his handicap.
And Gene Blair with the 229-225 victory.
Toby now for his 10th frame. Leaves a 2-7.
So he'll need to make this and strike to win.
Correct. Well, he's giving a little bit of a run. He
makes it.
Needs 9.
Okay.
9 is a tie, 10's a win.
I hear the Prodigy down there saying that the first shot in the 10th hit his leg on his downswing.
Toby just got to put the ball in the pocket.
And he only gets 7.
7.
All right, so 158-156 victory for Brenton Sherman. He'll be moving on in the finals to face Mary Beth Baker. And some really good matches there for the semifinals.
Absolutely. Both matches under 5 pins.
You hand me.
Okay. Let's head down to Matt to present our awards to Toby and Danny.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our semifinals for PJBT for today. Finishing in third in the scratch division, getting a $75 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Dan Allhouse. And our third place finisher in the handicap division,
Same thing
I heard
on
you say it.
23.
They're either on the table in there or right inside the check.